Hi, I'm Mark. I understand that you are looking to make an MTN purchase.
I always am looking to buy some medium-term notes. I have many buyers but no real seller.
Just so you know, I have an MTN seller that I am direct with.
Wow, sounds refreshing. So then you must be his mandate since you are direct with him.
Well, I am not his mandate, but I can get his mandate on the phone anytime your buyer wants to speak with him.
Okay, but I am the buyer's mandate, so I would need to speak directly to the seller's mandate to see if there is a deal to be made here. Can you get the mandate on the phone?
Well, first I am going to have to call Chris, who knows George, who is in contact with Mohammed, who then can call the mandate.
I thought you said you were direct to the mandate.
I speak directly through his people.
Alright, I will speak to the mandate, as I am the mandate of the buyer and have fiduciary authority to engage in any deal on his behalf.
No, we cannot do that. It is my job to vet out the buyer and make sure he or she is real, so I must speak to the buyer directly. Then and only then could I get the seller to reveal himself.
Well, before that the buyer would need to know the seller's procedures.
My seller will do any procedure. He expects a letter of intent, and then once he verifies the buyer's banking, then he will countersign the LOI.
But isn't that solicitation and against the law? My buyer prefers to follow Swiss procedures and not break the law.
My seller doesn't follow Swiss procedures. He must sell these MTNs so no one finds out.
So what does my buyer tell his banker when he asks for his updated proof of funds and makes arrangements for a bank-to-bank call?
I do not know, but this is a private sale and they want to move quickly.
Are the notes loaded on Brussels Euroclear with ISIN and QSIPs that can be confirmed on screen?
No, they are not loaded on Euroclear. The deal will be agreed on by the seller and buyer without an intervening agency like a bank or Euroclear.
Okay, so the notes are not on Euroclear and not at a bank. Then where are they kept? Are they held in a safekeeping account?
MTNs aren't kept in accounts. You don't know what you are talking about.
Yes, they are. How does your seller intend to allow my buyer to confirm the validity of the notes? There are a lot of fraudulent instruments on the market today, and we would like to verify that the instruments you are selling are real. That is why we will only transact on Euroclear.
Like I said, this is MTNs, not instruments. Therefore, they cannot be kept in a bank.
Perhaps you could provide me with an ISIN or at least a copy of the title page. With all of the nonsense in the market and all of the joker brokers involved in transactions that they have no business being involved with, we would feel much more at ease knowing we have a real seller.
No, he will not do that.
Okay then, so how much in medium-term notes are available?
The seller has 2 trillion euros in medium-term notes for sale and would like to sell them all. They are kept in his private remote location in Hong Kong, controlled by the Chinese royal family.
Wow, that's a lot of MTNs. Wouldn't he change the global economic structure by selling them? He is required to use most of his profits to fund projects and humanitarian efforts, not to line his own pockets. His profits would be half of all of the currency in circulation in the world.
That is why this is a private sale.
How many contracts does he intend to issue?
He will provide as many 50B contracts with rolls and extensions that your buyer wants.
How much can he deliver per month?
The whole 2 trillion. Should take him 1 week.
Well, does he have his own team of traders?
Why do you ask?
Well, that's a lot of notes to sell.
So what does that mean?
It means that your seller will need his own team of traders to transact in a week. Each trader would need a team of bank officers, and then the whole world will be aware of the transaction. So who is this seller?
I can only tell you this: he is royalty and goes by the name of the Patriot.
Well, I have met more princes than Cinderella, but never one named the Patriot.
That is his code name. He has his mandate step in front of all his deals.
Okay, well, what is the price?
70 to +1.
Okay, let me see what I can do with my buyer. It makes no difference to me as I am the only one on the buyer side of the FPA, so I make the whole 50% of the 1% commission anyway.
No, there are lots of people on the buyer side.
I am alone. What are you talking about?
Well, since the seller's side is closed, Mohammed who brought the mandate wants 1/3 of the commission. That leaves Chris and George getting another 1/3, and then I get the last 1/3, and of course I have to pay my cousin Tilly, twice removed from my father's side.
So what does that leave me with?
Have the buyer pay you.
He is. That is why it is called the buyer side commission, not the seller side commission.
No, both the buyer side and seller side are closed.
Doesn't that mean that the price isn't really 72 plus 1 but more like 72 plus 2, as the buyer needs to pay me?
However you want to look at it, you can.
Do you think the bank will pay those high commissions?
Of course they will. No banker can step in front of this deal. My seller controls the bank. He deals direct with the president of the bank.
So then who is the paymaster?
The paymaster will be Mohammed's cousin, who is a lawyer.
Does he work for a large law firm that is bonded?
No. He has his own law firm and no one needs to worry about Mohammed's cousin. I guarantee it.
Okay, I will ask the buyer to pay me something.
So get me a letter of intent with full banking coordinates. And then once I vet out the buyer and speak to the buyer's bank, then I will have the seller countersign the LOI.
So you want me to have my buyer send you over permission to verify his account to someone he does not know, and for a seller who will not reveal himself?
Exactly.
So how will you vet out the buyer?
Well, firstly I will Google his name to make sure he does not pop up on a blacklist. Then I will check to see if he has a website. Then, finally, I will check out the address of where he lives on Google Maps. Once he has passed that, then I will call a friend of mine who I cannot say his name, but he is ex-military, and have him check out who the buyer is, as he used to work for George Bush and still has pull in Washington.
Wow. Thoughts extensive. Can we speak later on?
I am very hard to reach. Even though I am working on 50B contracts, I never can seem to pick up the phone. You can try. Let's speak later.
Okay, I will prepare the letter of intent for your seller.